My name is Grace Carter, and an encounter with something beyond this world took my life in an unexpected direction. A near-death experience, NDE, granted me a glimpse of the afterlife, where I met Jesus and was shown 5 transformative events that were about to unfold. These events, beginning in 2025, were not visions of destruction or despair, but moments of hope, unity, and profound change with the potential to reshape humanity. I feel an undeniable calling to share this message, not to incite fear, but to inspire hope and preparation for what lies ahead. The first 2 revelations deeply moved me, marking the beginning of a journey that changed my life forever. The day it all happened is etched into my heart, never to be forgotten. Following a near-fatal accident that left me clinically dead for several minutes, I embarked on a profound spiritual journey. Surrounded by a radiant, warm light, I felt a peace beyond anything I could comprehend. In this sacred space, I met Jesus, who embraced me with an unconditional love so overwhelming it brought tears to my soul. He shared with me 5 transformative events, each imbued with love, hope, and a divine purpose. One of the pivotal moments Jesus revealed to me was set in 2025, a year critical to humanity's growth and evolution. This wasn't just a vision. It became my divine mission to share what I saw. When Jesus took my hand, we entered an expansive, ethereal realm that seemed to stretch endlessly. It was filled with warmth and light, radiating purpose and hope. There, Jesus showed me the first vision, a glimpse into a future where nations that had long been at odds found common ground and began to collaborate. Humanity was on the brink of a monumental shift in global leadership dynamics, and this transformation carried the promise of a brighter, united future. I saw leaders like Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and Vladimir Putin playing unexpected yet pivotal roles in these changes. It began with a breakthrough in clean energy technology. Elon Musk's relentless efforts led to a revolutionary project that surpassed the current scope of electric cars and solar panels. This innovation unlocked a clean, abundant, and universally accessible energy source, eliminating the world's dependence on fossil fuels and providing energy to even the most remote regions. What stood out most was the cooperation between world leaders, who had often been seen as polarizing figures. Trump, Putin, and others came together, not out of convenience or politics, but from a shared understanding that unity was essential for survival in the face of mounting climate challenges. Jesus underscored the importance of this collaboration, which emerged from necessity rather than ego as humanity approached a critical juncture. I witnessed vivid scenes of world summits where decisions were made transparently, focusing on long-term solutions rather than short-term gains. Even leaders traditionally known for their uncompromising stances, like Vladimir Putin, showed an unexpected willingness to compromise, especially when negotiating peace treaties that enabled access to resources for clean energy projects. This cooperation extended far beyond governments. Communities around the world embraced the change. Schools began teaching the importance of conservation. Businesses prioritized sustainability, and citizens actively participated in building a better future. The media, too, shifted its narrative, choosing to highlight stories of hope, innovation, and progress instead of division and despair. What moved me most in this vision was a sense of collective empowerment. Jesus reminded me that the leaders were merely instruments of something far greater. It was the people, through their prayers, actions, and unwavering faith, who held the true power to shape this future. As the second vision unfolded, I realized that the seeds of collaboration and unity planted in the first vision would pave the way for something even greater. Jesus' presence throughout this experience served as a reminder that hope, love, and faith can inspire humanity to overcome even the greatest challenges. Jesus led me to a scene of humanity in profound prayer and connection, a moment that transcended traditional spaces of worship. This spiritual awakening was not confined to churches or temples, but unfolded in homes, workplaces, and public squares across the globe. A global spiritual revival was sweeping through the earth, transforming lives in ways I had never seen before. Jesus revealed images of families being reunited, individuals releasing long-held grudges, and entire communities healing from division. This revival was not about one religion dominating over others, but rather a universal recognition of God's presence and love, a force that transcended cultural, geographic, and ideological boundaries. I witnessed Donald Trump addressing a gathering, not with a political agenda, but with an earnest and heartfelt message about the importance of faith-driven leadership. It was a plea for unity, kindness, and shared purpose. Similarly, Elon Musk, renowned for his scientific and innovative mind, spoke about how his own experiences led him to acknowledge a divine force guiding humanity toward its higher potential. Even Vladimir Putin, often perceived as unyielding and authoritarian, spoke with a surprising softness, embracing a more spiritual and compassionate approach to leadership. This awakening had a particularly profound impact on young people. They turned to spirituality not out of societal pressure, but because they found genuine meaning and hope within it. Social media, initially criticized for perpetuating negativity and division, began to transform into a tool for spreading messages of faith, inspiration, and community building. What struck me most was the simplicity of it all. People no longer depended on grand institutions or rigid doctrines to find God. Instead, they nurtured a deeply personal connection with the divine. Jesus explained to me that this global awakening was the culmination of countless prayers and humanity's shared desire for peace, purpose, and unity. The vision was clear. This spiritual revival would serve as the foundation for the significant events yet to come. It would empower humanity with the strength, clarity, and shared purpose needed to face future challenges. In the third vision, Jesus led me to witness an extraordinary event in human history, an unprecedented transformation of the global economy. For centuries, the world's economy had been plagued by instability and inequality, but now it began to achieve balance and fairness. This transformation was not an overnight miracle. It was the result of deliberate, unified efforts by global leaders and an awakened population. I saw Donald Trump in a surprising new role, as a figurehead advocating for economic reform. He collaborated with leaders from across the globe, including Vladimir Putin and others from Europe and Asia. Their collaboration wasn't driven by a desire for power or dominance, but by a shared commitment to finding solutions that benefited all of humanity. They established a new economic framework focused on equity, ensuring that resources and opportunities were distributed more fairly. Every level of society, from the most privileged to the most marginalized, was given a chance to thrive. Jesus explained that this transformation took place during a time of crisis when many countries teetered on the brink of bankruptcy. The collapse of traditional banking systems marked the beginning of a global reset, ushering in a new era of transparency and accountability. Cryptocurrency and digital assets played a pivotal role in this system, but with safeguards and decentralization at its core. Unlike before, these tools were not controlled by corporations or governments, but operated within a community-driven framework. I saw powerful scenes of change, impoverished regions gaining access to education, healthcare, and technology for the first time. Elon Musk's groundbreaking innovations contributed significantly to these reforms, offering affordable technologies that empowered small businesses and lifted local economies. The ripple effect of these changes brought hope to millions and strengthened humanity's shared sense of purpose. Through it all, Jesus reminded me that this transformation was not only the result of leadership or innovation, but of a spiritually awakened and unified humanity. It was their prayers, actions, and faith that laid the groundwork for this incredible shift. This vision filled me with hope and reinforced the belief that no matter the challenges ahead, humanity was capable of rising together, guided by love, unity, and divine purpose. What struck me most about this vision was the profound transformation in individuals. Jesus revealed people choosing generosity over greed, sharing their resources freely and selflessly. Governments began fostering policies that encouraged communities to prioritize collective well-being over personal wealth. Jesus reminded me of the importance of policies that rewarded acts of kindness, cooperation, and compassion. However, the true key to economic stability was not solely in policy, but in a fundamental shift in human behavior. People began to view wealth as a tool for creating a better world rather than as a measure of personal success. This mindset spread rapidly, igniting hope and inspiring change on a global scale. The fourth vision Jesus shared focused on restoring dignity to countless lives. Imagine a world where technology was no longer a source of harm or division, but a tool of immense good. Innovators like Elon Musk and other leaders drove this transformation, utilizing their expertise to address humanity's most pressing challenges. I saw hospitals equipped with advanced AI systems, offering affordable and accessible healthcare to all. Diseases that had plagued humanity for centuries were eradicated thanks to groundbreaking advancements in genetic research. Jesus showed me that these technological advancements were not merely technical marvels, but acts of compassion. Elon Musk played a pivotal role in this transformation, designing innovations not for profit, but to heal and uplift humanity. His projects expanded beyond Tesla and SpaceX, delving into revolutionary medical technologies and educational tools. I saw virtual classrooms that provided quality education for free, even to children in the most remote parts of the world. These tools fostered creativity and critical thinking, equipping the next generation to face future challenges with wisdom, kindness, and resilience. Jesus explained that these advancements were made possible because humanity shifted its focus from competition to collaboration. Corporations and governments worked together to ensure that the benefits of technology were accessible to all, not just the wealthy. There was a global commitment to closing the digital divide, ensuring even the poorest regions had access to the internet and technological resources. This was one of the most moving aspects of the vision. I saw how technology connected people like never before. families separated by distance could virtually connect in immersive and meaningful ways. Elderly individuals who had often felt isolated were now able to engage with their communities through virtual environments. Jesus emphasized that technology itself is neutral. It is humanity's intentions that determine its impact. In this new era, people chose to use these tools to heal, educate, and connect rather than to exploit or divide. This vision left me with a profound sense of hope for what humanity can achieve when guided by love, unity, and compassion. The fifth vision Jesus showed me was perhaps the most surprising and captivating. I witnessed a vision of peace emerging in areas of the world long ravaged by conflict. This peace was not merely the absence of war, but the beginning of healing between nations and peoples who had been adversaries for generations. Jesus revealed a significant turning point in relationships that had been strained for decades. I saw Vladimir Putin, Donald Trump, and other notable world leaders in 2025 coming together in unprecedented negotiations. These discussions were unlike the formal, often performative summits I had seen in the news. They were marked by genuine dialogue, compromise, and a shared commitment to fostering peace and mutual understanding. They were candid and heartfelt conversations with leaders who once seemed immovable. Yet, these individuals were softened by the realization that unity was no longer a choice, but a necessity. In one powerful scene, I saw Vladimir Putin playing a pivotal role in mediating peace in Eastern Europe. Despite his controversial reputation, he approached the task with humility and purpose, bringing opposing factions together to broker a long-term agreement. It was as though he had experienced a personal awakening, one that reshaped his priorities and softened his demeanor. In another scene, Donald Trump collaborated with Middle Eastern leaders to support large-scale humanitarian aid efforts. These initiatives went beyond rebuilding infrastructure. They sought to rebuild trust and foster reconciliation among communities. Religious leaders who had once been hesitant to engage in political discussions also joined the efforts, fostering a culture of mutual respect and shared purpose. Jesus explained to me that this wave of peace was not driven by political ambition or public pressure. Instead, it was the result of countless prayers from people around the world, pleading for God's intervention and healing. This collective yearning for peace stirred something profound in the hearts of leaders and citizens alike. The most beautiful aspect of this vision was witnessing its impact on ordinary people. Families who had been torn apart by war were finally reunited. Children who had only known fear and chaos began to experience safety and hope for the first time. Communities devastated by conflict found strength in rebuilding together, setting aside their differences to create a brighter future. Jesus reminded me that while this vision was promising, it would take faith and perseverance to bring it into reality. Peace could not be imposed. It had to be nurtured through understanding, forgiveness, and compassion. After Jesus revealed the 5 transformative events to me, I witnessed sincere attempts to see each other as fellow siblings under God. With a look of profound compassion and purpose, Jesus turned to me, his presence radiating a love so powerful I could feel it in every fiber of my being. He explained that these visions were not fixed destinies. They were possibilities shaped by humanity's choices. The key to achieving these positive outcomes, Jesus emphasized, was for people to embrace love, humility, and action. Humanity needed to reject selfishness and fear, choosing instead faith and cooperation. He spoke about the responsibility each individual has in shaping the future, reminding me that it wasn't about grand gestures or extraordinary efforts. Rather, it was about the everyday acts of kindness, forgiveness, and faithfulness. Tell them, Jesus said, that they have the power to change the world, but first they must change themselves. When people turn to God and to each other, they will find inner unity and peace. Miracles will follow when hearts are open. I was overwhelmed by the weight of his words, but Jesus reassured me with a sense of purpose. He reminded me that I wasn't alone in this mission. Countless others had received similar messages, and together we were meant to inspire humanity to embrace the light. As the vision began to fade, Jesus turned to me one last time and said, "Grace, share what you've seen, not to instill fear, but to inspire hope. The future is not set in stone. It is a canvas waiting to be painted with humanity's faith and love." With those words, I felt myself being drawn back into my body. The warmth and light surrounding me faded, and I opened my eyes to find myself surrounded by medical personnel. They called my recovery a miracle, but I knew that the true miracle was the message I had received. My senses returned in the stark, clinical setting of a hospital room. The hum of machines, the muffled voices of doctors, and the gentle touch of a nurse checking my pulse gradually brought me back to awareness. I opened my eyes to see a group of people around me, medical professionals expressing a mixture of relief and amazement. One of the nurses leaned in close and exclaimed, "Grace, you are a miracle." Her words echoed in my mind, and tears began to stream down my face, not from fear or sadness, but from an overwhelming sense of gratitude and awe. As I adjusted to being back in the physical world, I realized that something profound had changed. Colors seemed more vibrant, as if the world had been painted anew. Even the most basic sounds, like the rhythmic beeping of a monitor, had a beauty I'd never noticed before. It was as though a veil had been lifted, revealing the extraordinary in what I had once taken for granted. The medical staff was perplexed by my rapid recovery, especially given the severity of the accident. Despite what should have been significant damage, I showed no signs of lasting harm. While the doctors labeled my situation as a medical anomaly, I secretly believed it to be a manifestation of divine intervention. My family began to trickle in, their faces a mixture of disbelief and joy. My sister gripped my hand tightly, her eyes scanning the room as though to confirm that I was truly there. "We thought we had lost you," she whispered, her voice trembling. I smiled at her and replied softly, "I'm still here, and I have something important to tell you." When I first tried to share my experience, I found it difficult to convey the magnitude of what I had seen without overwhelming others or sounding overly dramatic. It felt almost impossible to put such profound truths into words. So I decided to start small, sharing pieces of the story that focused on the love and peace I had experienced during my journey. My sister, spiritually inclined and always receptive, listened intently with tears in her eyes. "Grace," she said, "this was meant for you to share." Her encouragement strengthened my resolve, even as others dismissed my account as a hallucination or the result of trauma. I didn't argue or try to convince them. Instead, I planted the seeds of my message, trusting that it would take root in their hearts when the time was right. The greatest challenge came from within me. I felt an overwhelming sense of responsibility to act on what Jesus had shown me. It wasn't just a personal revelation, it was a call to action. I prayed fervently for guidance, asking God to help me find the right words and the courage to speak them. I began journaling, writing down every detail of the visions and the emotions they had stirred within me. Page after page, I poured out my thoughts, and the process became a source of clarity and healing. Over time, I realized that the message I had received wasn't just about the events of 2025. It was about the choices we make every day, as individuals and as a global community. Eventually, I started sharing my story publicly. I began with small community gatherings, speaking humbly about the hope and guidance that Jesus had provided. Later, I expanded to online platforms, not seeking attention, but compelled to spread the message. At each event, I emphasized the positive aspects of the visions, the potential for national unity, spiritual awakening, and advancements that could uplift humanity. I reassured people that these visions were not warnings of inevitable disaster, but opportunities for transformation. To my surprise, the response was overwhelmingly positive. After my talks, people approached me to share their own spiritual experiences or to ask how they could prepare for the changes ahead. Many people later told me that my story had reignited their faith or given them hope during difficult times. One particularly memorable encounter was with a young woman who had been struggling with despair. She told me, "Your story reminded me that I am not alone. There is still a reason to believe in goodness." Her words confirmed my purpose and strengthened my resolve to continue spreading the message. When Jesus revealed the visions to me, he demonstrated the critical role that faithful individuals would play in shaping these outcomes. This wasn't about waiting for leaders or institutions to take action. It was about the efforts of everyday people like you and me. Jesus showed me how communities could unite to live out their purpose. Believers would become beacons of hope and strength, particularly during times of hardship. I saw small groups of people gathering in homes, public places, and even virtual spaces. These groups weren't divided by religious or cultural differences. They were united by love, humility, and a shared determination to make a positive impact. Some offered food and shelter to those in need, while others focused on education, teaching children the importance of compassion and kindness. Jesus emphasized that these efforts didn't require vast resources or influence. Even the smallest acts of kindness could spark a ripple effect, inspiring others to join in. He showed me a powerful image, a single candle lighting up a dark room, its glow spreading until the entire space was illuminated. This, he explained, symbolized the transformative power of faith. Even in the darkest situations, faith had the potential to bring light and hope. In moments of desperation, Jesus reminded me that prayer is one of the most powerful tools available to humanity. I witnessed how the prayers of the faithful created waves of light that shielded communities, softened hearts, and inspired leaders to make wise and compassionate decisions. These prayers were not merely symbolic. I saw tangible results. Wars were averted, families were reunited, and broken systems were reformed. Jesus made it clear that the ability to change the world did not depend on power or wealth. Faith, love, and action were the only essentials. This profound truth filled me with hope and a renewed sense of purpose. In another part of the vision, Jesus focused on the importance of spiritual preparation. He explained that while the events of 2025 would present numerous opportunities, they would also bring challenges. Humanity's resilience and reliance on spiritual strength would be crucial for navigating these changes. I saw individuals making time each day for prayer, meditation, and scripture study. There were no elaborate rituals, just simple, heartfelt practices that helped them stay connected to God. Jesus explained that during times of rapid change, it's easy to become distracted or overwhelmed. These daily practices served as anchors, providing clarity and peace amidst chaos. I witnessed scenes of families gathering to pray, their bonds deepening as they sought guidance and strength together. Parents instilled values of kindness and gratitude in their children, creating a foundation of resilience for the next generation. Communities came together to create spaces where seeds of faith could be planted, helping people face life's challenges with courage and hope. Jesus emphasized that spirituality was not just about individual growth. It was also about collective worship, support, and keeping one another grounded. Preparation was more than just personal development. It was about making an impact on the world through unity, love, and shared faith. Those who were spiritually prepared could offer guidance and comfort to others, establishing themselves as pillars of strength within their communities. This strength was not limited to believers alone. It was available to anyone who sought peace and understanding. One of the most striking aspects of this vision was witnessing how spiritual preparation transformed people's perspectives. Instead of succumbing to fear and despair, they responded to challenges with hope, determination, faith, and compassion. These individuals found solutions and inspired others, creating ripples of positive change in their wake. Jesus' final words in this vision were both a solemn reminder and a powerful call to action. Now is the time to prepare. Build your foundation on faith, and it will guide you through whatever lies ahead. These words remain etched in my heart as a constant reminder of the strength and resilience that faith can provide. In one of the most extraordinary parts of the vision, Jesus revealed the profound impact of spiritual readiness. He demonstrated how collective prayer, offered with sincerity and faith, could act as a shield of light, protecting individuals, families, and even entire communities. These prayers did not merely ascend into heavens. They created ripples that reverberated across both the physical and spiritual realms, transforming lives and shaping events. I saw scenes of people gathering to pray, not just in their homes, but also in churches, open spaces, and even virtually. It wasn't about the specific words they used or elaborate rituals they performed. Instead, it was the unity of their hearts that mattered. Families prayed for healing, neighbors prayed for peace, and strangers prayed for the world. Each prayer contributed to a growing wave of light that swept across the earth, touching places shrouded in darkness and illuminating them with hope. Jesus showed me how these collective prayers could influence decisions and events. I witnessed a pivotal moment when world leaders, including Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin, and others, were on the verge of making decisions that could have escalated into global conflict. However, the prayers of millions around the world created a spiritual shift. Hearts that were once hardened, softened, leading these leaders to choose dialogue and compromise over aggression. It was as if the prayers acted as divine intervention, altering the course of history and averting catastrophe. Jesus also emphasized that prayer was not constrained by distance or circumstance. Even a single person's heartfelt prayer, offered in the solitude of a quiet room, could contribute to the collective good. I saw an elderly woman frail and alone, praying for peace in her community. Her prayer sparked a chain reaction of kindness, igniting connections between people and fostering reconciliation. In this vision, Jesus reminded me that prayer was far more than just a tool for change. It was a lifeline. He explained, when humanity prays together, it not only brings them closer to God, but also to one another. Prayer had the power to unite, to heal, and to inspire. It was the foundation upon which a brighter future could be built, and it served as a constant reminder that even in the darkest moments, hope and love could prevail. Prayer has the power to bring together the divided, heal the broken, and uplift the weary. This vision renewed my faith in the transformative potential of prayer. The 12th vision focused on the pivotal role prayer and divine guidance play in shaping a better future. Jesus revealed to me that during the significant and transformative events of 2025, supernatural guidance would be made available to humanity. He showed that those who sincerely sought divine direction would receive it miraculously. This guidance was not reserved for a select few. It was accessible to all who were willing to listen and act in faith. I witnessed an extraordinary moment where a once divisive figure, Donald Trump, used his influence to promote unity and hope. Jesus showed me a powerful scene of community-driven initiatives sparked by leaders who chose to act selflessly. In one instance, Trump visited a small town ravaged by economic hardship. He did not only offer financial assistance, but also shared heartfelt words of encouragement that rekindled hope in the hearts of its people. Jesus emphasized that it was not the leader's perfection that mattered, but their willingness to change, to serve, and to lead authentically. Leadership, Jesus explained, is not about power. It is about responsibility, humility, and a sincere desire to serve others selflessly. He reminded me that true leaders inspire through their actions, not their authority. Those who lead with love and humility, he said, will light the way for others in a deeply authentic and lasting manner. The vision then shifted to one of hope, of a future where humanity thrived, not because it had become perfect, but because it had learned to embrace its imperfections with grace. Jesus showed me a world where the challenges of 2025 became stepping stones for growth and unity. Families grew stronger, prioritizing relationships over material success. They spent more meaningful time together, finding joy in shared experiences. Communities became vibrant and connected, offering mutual support in ways that once seemed impossible. Schools began focusing on nurturing creativity, compassion, and character, teaching children not only how to achieve personal success, but also how to make meaningful contributions to society. Technology, guided by ethical principles, evolved into a powerful tool for healing and progress. Innovations, spearheaded by figures like Elon Musk, advanced solutions that address global issues, from curing diseases to combating climate change. These advancements were no longer reserved for the privileged, but became accessible to all, bridging the divide between rich and poor, urban and rural. Jesus also showed me how world leaders, including Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, played vital roles in this brighter future. They put aside their personal ambitions to focus on the greater good, inspiring others to do the same. Their transformation served as a reminder that leadership doesn't rest in the hands of one person. Instead, it requires a collective shift in mindset. Humanity began to prioritize what truly mattered: love, compassion, and faith. The vision concluded with a profound message from Jesus. The future is not set in stone. It is a reflection of the choices you make today, choices rooted in love, faith, and unity. As I returned from this vision, I felt a renewed sense of purpose. It was not merely a glimpse of what could be, but a call to action for all of us. Unity, Jesus reminded me, would always lead to a brighter tomorrow. The final vision left me with a profound understanding. The future is ours to create, and through love, faith, and collective action, we can build a world filled with hope and light.